Hi gang, we are back. Got Crash the Titans here against Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, as we're going to be using Ghost. So, as we always do here, we always take a look at the powers for the opponents and us, and determine a strategy to help you all figure this here out. Now, again, normally I would have these videos here done day of, but because of work, the schedule's gonna be a little bit messed up. But again, we're gonna get the videos out in a timely fashion. So Natasha is a purple, red, and black user. Her purple ability is called Tell Me Everything, and this costs 12, and it will deal damage to the target, and it'll remove up to 3 random strike, attack, protect, countdown, or repeater tiles. And then if there's a countdown tile on the board, up to I think it's like a minimum of, well, it'll be 6 countdown tiles to reduce the AP cost to a minimum of 7. So I mean, Ghost creates a countdown tile, so essentially her powers will be between 11 or 12. Alright. The next ability is a red ability, Acrobatic Takedown. Natasha's gonna deal a bunch of damage to us. So she'll target damage to us, and then if we have more than 12 AP in any color, then it'll do additional damage as well. And then if it happens to down an enemy, then she will destroy up to 7 random AP. But at that point in time, there will be downed. And then finally, Red in My Ledger. This is her black ability that costs 10. So she'll deal damage to the target. And if any of her allies are below 20% health, she will drain AP and deal extra damage to the target. And then additionally, her passive, if one of her allies is stunned, then she'll stun a random enemy for 1 turn. Since it's a one-on-one fight, that latter ability is not gonna matter as much. Now we got Ghost, Quantum Thief. Her powers are purple, red, and blue, so we're going to be obviously chasing after purple and red. But her purple ability, uh, it will create an invisibility tile, supply run. I think this was 10. Yeah, so it creates invisibility tiles targeting ghosts, and then whenever we match an invisibility tile, it'll give her true healing of whatever the listed amount is, and then at level 5 it'll be 4 invisibility tiles. Alright. Unfazed, this is her red ability. This year also costs 10, and it will deal damage to the target, but if Ghost happens to be invisible, then it will deal the listed damage here, the 14,000 damage, ignoring enemy projectiles. So this is one of those abilities that once she's invisible, you want to save up your red to fire it off when you're invisible, and then let it all off in one go. And then Power Cycle, this is Ghost passive ability. So as long as we don't fire off a power, Ghost match damage is increased by 300%. At level 3, it's 195, but it's going to make a massive difference in the fight in terms of match damage. And then whenever we fire off a power, whether it's Ghost's purple ability or her red ability, then the power becomes stasis protocol, um, where Ghost uh, base match damage is going to be to the level of your regular 4-star match damage. All right. And then if there is no power cycle tile on the board, then it'll revert back to 300% match damage. So as you can see, it does kind of feel like Ghost, how she appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp, where she was, corporeal, incorporeal, in control of her powers, not in control of her powers. So there you go. And so the main thing we want to do with Ghost, like I said, you want her purple ability, you want to fire off her red while you're behind the invisibility, and then as long as you're not invisible and whatnot, you can make active match damage with her blue ability. So uh, for folks who have Champ Ghost, uh, 3-5 3-5-5 is the way to go, because again, why in the world would you want to have less match damage, and why in the world would you want her red to be, you know, not hit as hard? You know what I'm saying? As far as lesser equipped ghosts go, again, you want your blue purple boost, you want your red boost, any sort of match damage boost, as well as the quantum realm support. Like if you want to throw that support on her, uh, it's like if an invisibility tile, if whenever she's healed, there's a small percentage chance this will create an invisibility tile targeting herself, and then of course too, she'll start off with purple AP as well. And I'm trying to remember here. Oh yeah, and then she takes less damage from enemy matches. Again, that's one way you could go about it if you really, you're really struggling. But again, the only boosts I'm going up with are team up boosts and boosts that don't affect ghost powers at all. So that way,
New message received.
Well, okay, you can see how in the world a quote unquote higher level player does it, and B, um, you got to get those team up, those milestones done. So I'm gonna shut up. Then after that, we will see who to work Ghost with. I said I just mostly did all of that fight there on match damage alone, as you saw. And again, even though I am at 325. Again, Ghost was more or less doing it there off of match damage, and it doesn't hurt too that Natasha happens to be lesser equipped, or not at champion status though. Though I think you could have boosted her up to about 360, and well, no, that actually would make things a little bit worse. But anyway, to pair people to pair up Ghost with, well, if you want to go what I like to call pure match damage, America Chavez. What does America Chavez do? Create critical tiles. Alright. The other person, where is my boy Karnak? I know you are here somewhere, Mr. Shatterer. There we go. Karnak, what does he do? Find the flaw. What does he do afterwards? All match damage dealt by Karnak is increased by 560%. So you're essentially starting off the fight putting pressure on your opponent with the match damage from Ghost. Then after the turns where Karnak kicks in, with Find the Flaw, now Karnak's doing insane match damage. Ghost is doing insane match damage. And the only way you're really gonna keep up with the insane match damage that they're gonna be doing is either with passives or strike tiles. And that's Polaris' speciality. And then, the critical tiles come in with America Chavez. It's like, okay, good night. If not them, if you want to use a 5-star character to massacre people up with, Colossus. Let's look at 5-star Colossus. Well, you could even by the time, I mean, you could do Shang-Chi, but by the time you've made at least 3 or 4 red matches, he's already outpacing both Karnak and Ghost, you know, just to the sheer fact that he's a 5-star, and plus to his River of Blows ability. But let's look at Colossus. Preservation is Colossus match damage is increased by 126%, and then allies take less match damage. Well, even though my Colossus is at 10,000, well, excuse me, 1,000 per yellow match, even though he is 463, it gets to be pretty ridiculous. And then plus 2, he's boosted this week too in PvP. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of him. So that's going to end this video here. But before we end it, we have to take a look and see who is going to be the next person on the Crash the Titans, and it's going to be Mysterio Quentin Beck. So it'll be fun, but at the same time too, it'll be kind of amusing for folks. But we'll be back at it a little bit later on today with, oh my goodness, the Peggy Carter PvP. I don't know why I could not think of Peggy Carter. Like, her name was on my mind, but my tongue wouldn't spit it out. But we got her PvP. We'll be looking at her. We be looking at using a whole bunch of Colossus and whatever else. So I'll see y'all then.